What's up, guys?
Hey Tony, how are you?
Good.
Hey, first, just I guess some impressions of the game on Saturday and maybe how you guys executed your game plan.
Well, obviously not very well. I mean, we faced probably definitely the best defense we faced all year. You got to give a lot of credit to Wisconsin, but we also, just weren't able to sustain drives, stay on the field. We struggled on third down. We struggled on early downs, getting into third and short and medium, which put us into third and longs, which wasn't what we wanted to be in. Weren't able to execute there to stay on the field. I mean, obviously it was our worst game of the year offensively. We got to go back and try and fix what we've got to fix, starting with me, our coaches, the players out there doing their job. So it was, like I said, you got to give Wisconsin credit. They got a really good defense, a good front, but we've got to find a way to execute better.
And Brett had talked post game about spending this open week, finding a way to maximize the roster. Maybe just determine some guys who are at 4 games or not at 4 games. What's that look like offensively for you?
Well, we've got a couple of guys that haven't played 4 games, some freshmen that we'll probably start to bring up this week and look at a little bit. We've already brought some freshmen with Josh and Pat Bryant right there. Another receiver would be Miles Scott that's going to come down and work with us a little bit and see if there's a situation where we start to put him in the game a little bit. But, probably the young guys that we're going to play, we've already bumped up and have already started to see playing time. So, we'll keep moving forward with those guys and developing those young guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Hey, Coach, nice seeing you. After the game on Saturday against Wisconsin, Coach Bielema kind of mentioned that you guys kind of started to look at Art a little bit more after the Maryland game. What did you kind of see in those couple of weeks and reps that he got that made it feel like Brandon was still your guy?
Well, Brandon was still in there making the throws, making good decisions with the football. Art was also coming along and developing. Art brings a little bit different personality and character out to the field as far as just that a little bit more of a leadership right there. But you've got 2 guys really that I feel like are Division I type of players that you can go out there and win with. And so if all of a sudden you're struggling a little bit about out there, a lot of people want to start talking about quarterbacks and who should be playing. So I feel good about both those guys. Obviously, BP got dinged up and Art went in, and Art did some good things, and he also could have done some things a little bit better. And we'll keep working on that, obviously, every week.
And then to follow up, I guess in these 2 weeks of practice, are you open to making a change at the quarterback position, or how do you evaluate the quarterback position in these 2 weeks?
Well, the first thing is we'll evaluate them every day. But the number one thing with the quarterback spot, and I've been doing this a long time, at the end of the day, if there's going to be a change made at the quarterback position, the head coach is going to have a lot to say with it. So he'd be definitely the guy you guys want to ask that question a little bit more than me.
Hey Tony, how difficult is it to find continuity in the offense when you have just kind of some unlucky plays where guys get banged up as far as the quarterback position goes?
Well, I mean, injuries are part of football. Continuity is awesome, especially up front at the quarterback spot, at the wideout spot, everywhere, running back spot. If you can have guys out there that are all staying on the field and staying healthy, that's the ultimate thing to have. And you see it in the NFL, you see it in college. But you got to deal with it, and that's life. That's part of football. So when guys go down, whether it's in the middle of a game or in the middle of a week or in the middle of a series, you got to deal with it, and you got no choice. So if that happens in the future at any position, we got to be ready to roll. And it's always a next guy up mentality.
Hey Tony, both quarterbacks had their struggles against Wisconsin. Just what do you feel is maybe missing in the passing game through 7 weeks?
Well, it's you look at the Wisconsin game, it's a little bit of a lot. Like I said, they've got a really good defense. They've got a good front seven. They were able to put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks, which hinders the passing game. They're pretty good in the back end, and we're able to stay on top of our receivers and make them a lot of contested throws. They got a good defense, and we got to do better against it. We got to protect the quarterback better. Quarterback could make some better decisions with the football and some better throws, and then the wideout's got to make some plays. So it's not just one thing. It's kind of a little bit of everything. And it obviously did not go well on Saturday against the Wisconsin defense that plays really well.
I think your first 2 possessions against Wisconsin, all pass attempts on every play. Was that just a determination that maybe hit them with that, knowing how good they are stopping the run?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, we weren't going to just go out there and say, hey, we're just going to try and run the ball down their throats. I mean, I think statistically they were either first or second in the country in run defense. We had a plan to go out there and throw the ball early and try and get some things going there and execute. It didn't go the way we wanted to, and you know that was our plan going into it. And you know, it didn't work out the way we wanted to, but we had plans of throwing the ball early on them.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, when we talk to the players, you know, to a man, they all say they just needed to play better and make more plays. But is there also a constant evaluation of the scheme, the play design, and some of the play calls?
Oh, always. I mean, the first thing I look at, especially after a game like that, is what could I have done better? How could I have put our guys in a better situation? Is there some different type of schemes or plays that we can give them an opportunity? Obviously, like I said, Wisconsin's got a good defense. I mean, you're not just going to have guys running around wide open on them. But anytime we go back and evaluate this week, what can we do to get the ball in our tight ends' hands more? What can we do to get them some easy catches? What can we do to get in Isaiah's hands moving forward? And then also some shots down the field. But a lot of what happened on Saturday had to do with, you know, Wisconsin's defense and also with our lack of execution.
You know, I know you're not going to be a spread offense. It's just not who you are, but are there some more maybe spread concepts in the passing game and combinations of routes that you think can help these guys get some separation?
Yeah, and you know, we got into empty there a few times and spread it out a little bit. I think we can keep doing that at times. I think that helps us. You know, the big thing we got to make sure is we're not doing anything to put the ball in jeopardy. You know, knock on wood, the best thing that we did on Saturday is we didn't have a turnover. You know, a lot of times when you're struggling a little bit, you throw some turnovers on top of that, and that's when it can really get ugly. So we still got to always lock in and concentrate on ball security. You know, but we've got to get the ball out on the perimeter. We've got to get the ball in our playmakers' hands, along with being able to run the football.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, Tony, maybe this is a tough week to ask after the game, but just as you enter this bye week, what do you evaluate where your offense is at through 7 games?
Well, I mean, I get the best thing, you got to look at all 7 games. I'm not saying we're leading the country because obviously we're not, but we've done some really good things this year. It just makes it hard when you're going to go look at it in a bye week right after that Wisconsin game, which it was our toughest game. I mean, it was our toughest defensive opponent. I think we played our poorest out there as far as execution, and that combination made it for a nightmare of a game. And, you know, so that leaves you just sick in your stomach, and you go to look at it, and you got to make sure you look at all 7 games because we have done a lot of good things. And we've taken care of the football. We've run the football. We've made a strong effort to it. We still got to keep improving in the passing game, but you got to make sure you go back and look at all 7 games and not just let the one game, you know, define what you're doing right now.
And then if I could get one more, I know Brian Hightower was, you know, injured a little bit early on. Where's he fall at kind of in your wide receiver order? And is there maybe a disconnect with him getting more chances on the field?
Well, he's back in practice. He's practicing right now. It's just the guys that we feel like give us the best opportunity are going to be on the field. Brian's pretty much 100% healthy. He's in there in our rotation and practicing right now. And, you know, another thing about that Wisconsin game, I think we had 52 snaps. You know, so when you have that low of snaps, a lot of times some guys that maybe would have gotten some snaps end up not getting snaps in the game. So, you know, Brian's back, he's doing well, and he's available to play.
Thank you, Tony.
Hey, Coach, I kind of wanted to follow up on this as well. I don't know what your philosophy is on kind of a 2 quarterback system. You obviously haven't done it at all this year. Where do you kind of stand on that in terms of what you think on a 2 quarterback system, if that's what it came to, I guess?
You know what? I've never been a huge 2 quarterback guy. I've never, you know, that I can remember been anywhere in my career where we're just going to go with 2 quarterbacks. Typically, you know, if you're trying to go with 2 quarterbacks, you feel like you don't even have one. I think you got to make a decision on the quarterback and go with it. You know, I'll reiterate, you know, the quarterback's a unique position. That's going to be a heavily big decision that's going to come down to a lot on the head coach and then our staff right there. But, you know, again, we've talked about it. You know, when you win, the quarterback gets a lot more credit than he probably deserves. And when you lose, especially you lose the way we did on Saturday, quarterbacks get a whole lot more blame. So, you know, until coach says something different, right now we're a 1 quarterback system, and he's going to make the decision on who plays.
And then if I could get one more, after the game on Saturday, a couple of guys kind of spoke about, I guess, Art kind of having this juice and bringing a spark to the huddle and to the offense. Where's Brandon kind of at right now with that and his, I guess, communicative abilities? You guys spoke about that a lot in training camp, how much he improved with that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been, if you've been around BP and you've been around Art, they're just two different people. And one of Art's big high assets is his personality and his natural outgoing leadership and his juice right there. And we've talked about BP. It's one of the things that he struggles with, just his natural personality right there. That's not him. And he keeps working on it, but they're two totally different guys. And so when BP comes in, one of the things that he does bring is he brings a lot of that juice to the table because that's his natural personality.
Hey, Tony, I've got an off the wall question. I realize I don't think I've seen you without the hat that you're wearing right now, unless I'm mistaken. And I'm wondering if there's anything special to it, or you just like it, or you're protecting the dome there.
You know what? No, I wear a hat a lot. I've got a couple Illinois camo hats in there. I like my camo hats. Trent gave me this one and one other one. So there's two different colored ones. And unless I'm out recruiting or something, I don't know. I played a lot of baseball growing up. I've always kind of been a hat guy. Plus obviously I don't have any hair. It helps sometimes keeping the dome covered from the sun.
All right. I noticed the camo thing and I didn't know if there was something to it.
I got two of them. So I kind of mix them up.
There's no gamer, right? Is there one that's a gamer?
There is until, and we win and it becomes the game one until the next one. And then when we don't win that next week, then I shoot that hat down. So I'll rotate hats a lot.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, guys.